Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 64, I believe. Today I'm talking about headhunting or hiring people because when I left Datagram, I went back to the recruiter who had found the job for me and he said, "Come and join me and be a recruiter." And I started with him. And I found very quickly that he was not a good manager and was asking me to do all sorts of things and organize things. I obviously had some skills that he didn't have, and he wanted me to do all that, but he wasn't compensating me at all. He had made some promises which he obviously wasn't going to keep. So I started my own business, and for 15 years, I was a recruiter or headhunter. And so today I wanted to talk. Well, the word of the day is hiring because I learned something in those 15 years. I might as well record it here in case anybody ever watches this and says, "Oh, that's interesting." Maybe it is. So when I started my own business, I worked from home. So number one thing I learned was that I could work on my own from home way before. This was in the late 1980s, probably 1989, I think, when I probably started my own business. And I want to share my screen because what I did was I joined a network of recruiters, and the were called National Personnel Associates, which is a recruitment network, and they were based in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And there's over now, I say over 550 firms. What happens is somebody's looking for a person, they put the job, you may have the person, you split the commission because it's a commission based operation. So if you don't find anyone, you don't make any money. So I did that for 15 years, as long as I was working on the gold mine, same amount of time. So this was a current poster or thing about recruiters. They also have, I'll just go through, they also say employers find the right talent faster, bring the strength of our global network to your search. And they even have a posting for job seekers, career opportunities worldwide. Put 550 plus specialized recruitment firms to work for you. And at one time, I was running my own business and working with other people within Toronto and in North America. Placed a few people overseas. I remember the one fellow I placed from Canada. I went to work in New Zealand. So it was an interesting job. I will stop sharing and tell you about some of the things I learned about hiring. First thing I learned was people don't know how to hire. They think by just talking to them, and if they like the person, they hire them. Big mistake. Approximately 55 to 70% of the time, they hire the wrong person. Now, what do you do about that? Well, I tried to even create a course and educate people, but I learned people don't want to. They all think, "Oh, we know how to hire. We've done it. We've been hired. We know how to hire." Sorry, you don't know. I learned that because we all have our biases. We hire people like ourselves. There's a lot of, and there are scam artists out there who tell you how great they are, have false qualifications, have people who will use as references who are just friends and say how great they are. Meanwhile, they're con artists. What a interesting occupation. The other thing I learned was it was one of the most challenging jobs because it's like selling. You're selling a person, but the product you're selling can turn around and say, "I don't want to take that." So it's a two-way selling. Whereas if you're selling a product, somebody wants to buy it, the product doesn't normally say, "No, I don't want to be sold." So it's fascinating from that point of view. It was interesting. I did it for 15 years working from home in Toronto. The thing I did learn, though, there is a technique which is fantastic, but again, people don't um, use it very much. But it's called Top Grading, a book written by Bradley Smart. So let me share my screen again. And I'll show you who I'm talking about. This is his book. If I can just get the right page. There we are. Top Grading, the proven hiring and promoting method that turbocharges your company performance. Highly recommend. This man has the right approach. There was a study done by a university in Georgia where they checked 1,000 people in 6 different companies, I believe, who prior to using top grading techniques had a mishire rate of 69.3%. Almost 70% of the people were in the wrong jobs. After using this, the study showed that it was down to 10.5%. That's remarkable because the average that I knew previously was at least 55% of the time they hire the wrong person. I have a prediction. I believe that hiring is going to improve in the future when computer and artificial intelligence, because it'll get rid of our cognitive bias that we have, because we always hire the wrong persons for the wrong reasons. We like them, or they went to the same school we went to, or whatever. And that's not the reason to hire people. Can they do the job? So I think artificial intelligence will be programmed and won't have that bias and will use, hopefully, the system top grading that Brad Smart has. And it'll be a lot more happier people because that's 655 to 60 to 70% people in the wrong job are miserable. They're not happy. Most people don't like their jobs. Give them the right job where they accomplish things and things will go well. So that's what I learned. I learned I could work on my own. For 15 years, I did that, working from home. I found people don't know how to hire, and they all think they can. And there is a great technique. And that's a top selling book, Top Grading by Brad Smart. Highly recommended, but most people won't use it. Only some smart organizations and some top notch organizations use top grading. I've heard references to him. So that's my Notes of a Nomad, number 64. I'm coming close to the end of my jobs, and we'll get on to other topics. But today it was about hiring, what I learned as a headhunter. So now, bye for now. Au revoir, adios. Wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter in these interesting times. Bye for now from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.